Creators from different industries, content creation tips and tools and tales and stories. These are all going to become part of season 3 of the Fanny Dunagan Show, launching today. So join us, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fanny Dunagan Show. My name is Fanny Dunagan, and for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, I'm here to share all kinds of content creation tips, tools, and tales with you, as well as to interview creators from across industries and backgrounds. And this is season 3 of the show. I think this is the 3rd year that I'm doing this. And I am so excited to be back. So welcome, everybody. Okay, so this week, my content tip of the week is all around the whole variety of content types that there are on LinkedIn. I think there is no other social media platform that has so many different types of content that you can create on a platform. And this really kind of helps with people that learn and absorb information differently. Right? Some of us learn through reading and writing. Some of us need something visual and pictorial. Some of us love audio. Some of us love video. Some of us want to read and so forth, right? Some of us want to interact in kinesthetics, right? So LinkedIn really allows for all of that. And I wanted to take this segment to outline the 10 types of LinkedIn content. Can you imagine there's 10 types of content that you can create on LinkedIn? And it's a great way to kind of show a variety of content too, right? Because we want to keep things spiced up and have a variety of content to come at people from different angles. So when you're creating content, take note that you can do any of these 10 types of content. So let me start sharing with you right now about that. Okay, let's navigate this new Restream. By the way, I'm using Restream these days. Okay, the 10 types of LinkedIn content. Let's get started. So the first one, if you do nothing at all, right? Even if you never post content, at the very least, make sure you comment. Right? I've met clients in the comments. I've met people that became friends and partners and collaborators in the comments. Right? Comments have power. So when you're reading a post and you've really enjoyed it, drop a note to a comment to the poster or the creator and make sure that you interact with them. And that's how you can slowly build your network just from comments alone. Number 2, right? If you're not comfortable sharing original content yet, then share articles. Did you read a great article in Forbes or in the Wall Street Journal or whatever kind of magazine or external resource or medium? Share an article. Tie that into your industry and into what you're passionate about or what you think your target clients would be passionate about, and share that article. And when you share it, make sure you add a few sentences in the captions to describe why you enjoyed that piece of content or add your unique perspective on that. Okay, so number 2, share articles. And if you want, the 3rd type is text-only posts. You would think that's so simple and it still gets tons of engagement. I've seen several text-only posts where you just write a few sentences, or you can even write up to, I think, 1,300 or 2,000 characters, all text. And even that in itself, short form written content, can get a lot of viewership and engagement. Okay, so that's the 3rd type. 4th, these get tons of views, and that is image posts. If you have a photo or a picture or an image or a graphic, post that and then add a description and caption around that. Those get tons of engagement as well, especially photos that include you, the creator. Okay. The fifth type of content is PDF and slide decks, right? PDFs and slide decks, that's like the carousels that people see on Instagram as well. You load up, maybe 5 or 7 slides, make sure it's just 1 point per slide, like 5 tips to improve your content or 5 best practices to ERP or technology implementations, whatever it is. Any kind of tips or lists, those are great for PDF carousels and slide decks. Okay. The sixth type, if you love writing articles, then write a LinkedIn article, right? Really dive deep into a piece of content and share your tips and advice and insights and even research in a LinkedIn article. Number 7, can you imagine all these different types all reside on LinkedIn, is video, right? Video lets people see who you are, and over time, the more videos you post on your topic of choice and your expertise, the more people are going to get to know, like, and trust you. And from there, that's how you'll get hired, both from employers as well as potential clients. Right? So videos, if you really want to build that connection with your audience, make sure you do videos. Number 8, polls. Polls have been they have exploded on LinkedIn, right? Whenever you want to get a feel of what your audience is thinking, then do a poll and let people get a feel of ask a question that relates to your industry or relates to your area, and get audience feedback that way. Those have been doing phenomenal on LinkedIn. Those are getting tons of viewership and engagement. Number 9, you can also create newsletters, right? If you love to write and if you're going to be consistent about it, you can get people to subscribe to your weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever frequency that you want newsletter. And that's how you're going to start to gain traction and gain an audience around your written content. And then finally, right here, live stream, the one that will get you right in front of your community and your audience so that you can interact directly with them, right? And for that one, you do need to apply and get approval from LinkedIn. But as you can see, it's super fun, a little, but also super fun. And through here, this is where we get to interact with your audience across cities, countries, across the world. You can do that. And so there you have it, everyone. The 10 types of LinkedIn content to elevate your content creation journey. So the next thing I want to share with you is this show is all about providing value for you. And one of the things I wanted to update you guys on is the latest LinkedIn content statistics. Okay. A lot of times people are like, why should I create content? Why bother? Why should I waste my time putting myself out there? I get enough referrals or I have a job. Why should I build a brand? Why should I create content? And what's happening in LinkedIn land is that the content on LinkedIn still gets so much organic reach. Okay. There's so many people that are still not creating content on LinkedIn. Okay. And so it's still a great time to build your network, be seen, especially for you that are out there in business to business, building your brand. And even if you're in a corporate job, right? Nothing's guaranteed anymore. And it's so important to stay relevant and really kind of put yourself out there and set yourself up as a thought leader and expert. Okay, so I wanted to share with you these LinkedIn statistics, okay, because it's so important as to getting to know why you should be creating content. Okay, so let me get back to this screen here. Awesome. If I can get, there we go. Okay, so LinkedIn content statistics. Okay. I want you to kind of digest this. I always kind of say These are the numbers to justify why you should be creating content. Okay, it's so, so important. LinkedIn over the last year, especially during COVID, right, has had 15 times more content impressions than job postings. Okay? LinkedIn has become so much more than just a job search network. Right? And so it's really where people come to educate themselves, to learn, to grow, to find like-minded people. We're all gathered here around content, right? And to really continue to grow and learn from thought leaders and companies and industry experts. It's still the #1 global platform for professionals. And there's been a 60% increase in 2020 on LinkedIn content creation alone. Okay. And so it's so important that we are creating content right now and get ahead of the curve, right? And get ahead of people creating content so that then your voice gets heard. Okay. 40% of B2B marketers say LinkedIn is now the most effective channel for driving high quality leads. Right? If you're in sales, if you're a coach or consultant that wants business, this is the place to be. Right? It's still the #1 platform for B2B lead generation. And let me know if you have any comments as we go through here, okay? And I really want to point out this. This is so important, right? I want you to look at here, okay? 722 million global users of LinkedIn, right? That's a lot, tons. However, only 0.4% share content on a weekly basis, right? 0.4%. In the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I am and a lot of the audience is, right? 3.7 million Dallas-Fort Worth users of LinkedIn, right? But only 139,000, 4% posted in the last 30 days. So even though your feed might look busy and full of content, that's only really 4% of the Dallas-Fort Worth area people that posted in the last 30 days. Okay? So these are the creators, the posters. However, almost 47% of people come onto the platform and they're active. They're just reading, lurking, watching, right? So you have 0.4 or 4% of people creating, 47% of people watching, right? The demand for content is so much bigger than the supply of content, right? So that's why right now organic reach is still so great on LinkedIn. So be amongst those top creators, right? And be heard and get your voices and your messages and your gifts out there to people, right? It's so critical. And finally, all the decision makers are on LinkedIn, right? 90 million senior level influencers, 63 million decision makers, 10 million C-level execs. This platform, I heard it at a conference, this is the most affluent platform out there, right? This is where you're going to get the VPs, the directors, the CEOs, the people that want to invest, that want to learn, that want to hire. And this is where this is a gold mine of potential clients and people that you can work with. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you all some of those LinkedIn content stats. I know it was a lot of numbers to throw at you, but I think it really justifies why we should be creating content on LinkedIn. Okay. Now, let me know if you have any questions about this. Yes, G, exactly. There's so much opportunity. And I love this that G says, go from lurker to learner and grower. Beautiful. Exactly. Don't just hide behind the scenes, right? Learn and grow and comment for sure, for sure, for sure. And oh, thank you, Gabe. I'm glad it provided value for you guys. And let me know if you have any other kind of questions as well. This is a good question here from Gabe. What kind of advice or suggestions would you suggest to a beginner trying to develop their audience. Filters, hashtags, and best practices. Absolutely. Thank you, Gabe. I'm sure you know the answer to that, but I will help answer this for those that are just starting out. I think the best way to get started is to pick your industry. Okay, let's say your industry is technology, right? So in the search bar, I would type in hashtag technology and then click it. And what it's going to do is bring up all kinds of content around technology. And from there, you can start to see who are the thought leaders or consistent posters of topics around, in this case, technology, right? Comment on them, engage with them, see what kind of content resonates with you, right? Get ideas of what kind of content you might want to create. Learn from others, interact with others. You might want to ping them and comment on their feed. And over time, if you get to know them, then you might want to hop on send them a direct message, get into a conversation with them, and build your network that way. Okay, so at the very, very simplest form, type in hashtag marketing, hashtag technology, hashtag human resources, hashtag manufacturing, whatever your industry is. Search up that hashtag and start to see all the content and the people that are creating around that. And that's a great way to start networking and getting ideas of content. Okay, great question, Gabe. Thank you so much. Let me know if you all have any other questions as well. Let's see. Cameron says, I'm on mobile and LinkedIn won't allow me to like comments at the moment. Yes, live is a challenging place to be active. Yes, I know. And there's like different. So right now I'm using Restream. Speaking of tools, right? Restream versus StreamYard. I think Gabe and I are going to talk about that on our show. But there's all kinds of stuff to learn. And when it comes to lives, there's just a lot of coordination, but it's so worth it. And I think people are forgiving. I think people, as long as you share and are open and transparent, I think people are forgiving when we have those kind of technical glitches and things like that. So it's still so worth it. Okay. David has a question here. How can I help people viewing my posts? Specific, short, and clear. So one great way to engage with people that are looking at your posts is to end every post with a question, right? Ask people for their opinions. Ask people whether they agree or disagree. Ask people to share their, if you posted about 5 tips to something, ask people to share what their tip is relating to that topic. So when you ask a question and have that kind of be as the last line of your post, that leaves the door open for people to engage with you, to talk to you, to type in a comment. So I always find that's a great way to kind of like bring your audience in, is to ask them a question in your post. I hope that helps. Okay. And so Chuck, thank you for tuning in. He's got to run, no worries. Woohoo! Season 3 is here. So exciting. Okay, so now the next thing is I want to do a giveaway. Okay, so this show, for those that are tuning in live, exclusive to those that are tuning in live, I don't know if you realize this, but I actually have an online course. So if you're getting ready to build your online brand and your unique brand, I actually have a starter course that I offer, and you can learn how to define your unique brand, create engaging videos, get my content planner and calendar, as well as all these exercises and templates to help you define your unique audience and generate content ideas. And my course is available here, but what I want to do is, here it is. I want to give away free access to somebody in the audience today to my course. It's valued at $49. It's actually valued at much higher, but I want to make it very affordable to anybody that's just getting started. But for today, I'm going to be giving away one free access to my course. And let me think of a question. Okay. Let's see who's been listening. Okay, I got it. What is the name of season 3? What is the title of season 3 of my show? Okay, for those of you that have access to my captions and the title of this show, let me hear you. What is the name of season 3 of my show? And the first one that can give me that answer, you will get free access to my online course. So for those of you out there, let me know what is the name of season 3 of my show. And you will get free access to my online course. So while we wait for that to come in, just want to give a quick shout out to Sarah Bell, amazing lady in the healthcare industry. She coaches nurse managers and leaders to be more effective. So everyone give a shout out and connection to Sarah Bell. And look at that. Sarah Bell got the answer. I think you were the first one. Yes. The name of the show for season 3 is Creator Tips, Tools, and Tales. So congratulations, Sarah. You won free access to my online course. And congratulations. You're already a creator, but maybe somewhere in there you'll see some more tips and information. Congratulations, Sarah. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. And so for those of you that didn't get access to it, you can still go to it at mypathlinks.com/unique brand. And you can access the course through that link right there. Okay, thanks everyone. Let me know if you have any other questions. Just pop them into the feed. Yay, that's right. Sarah Bell won. And you know what? I'm feeling really generous, and I see Cameron Toth was the second person that answered. And Cameron, I'm going to give you free access as well. So congratulations to Sarah as well as Cameron. You guys both have free access to my online course. I just want all of you to be creating content. So congratulations to you as well. Oh, thank you, Sarah. She said, I can never get too much help from Fanny Dunagan. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. And congratulations to Cameron. You won as well. Congrats. Okay. So in addition to tips and tools, another thing that's really important in content creation is storytelling. Okay. So why stories? Tips and tools are what I call great content for the head, right? The head loves stats and figures and numbers and justifications and research and all that, tips and tools. But when we're creating content, we also have to create from the heart. Okay, and that's where storytelling comes into play. And each one of you has stories to tell. And so many times, it's actually a story that will convert somebody. Right? Because when we're vulnerable and open and authentic, right, there's so much power in sharing and so much power in connecting with your audience and letting them see who you are. And that's where you can create that connection with the audience. And the best way to do that is through storytelling. Okay. One of the most amazing TED Talks that I've ever listened to is actually by Brené Brown. How many of you in the audience are Brené Brown fans? Okay, let me know who loves Brené Brown. Okay, Brené Brown is a shame researcher. Okay. It's crazy. Right. And I stumbled upon her TED talk, gosh, I think like a few years ago. Um, and and as a result of it, I mean, look at this. I think this talk got like 56 million views, right? She talks about the power of vulnerability, right? And how it's not just about trying to be perfect and full of armor and walls and all that. We all crave connection, and we can do a lot of that, so much of that through storytelling. Okay. And so if you haven't checked it out, make sure you check out Brene Brown, the TED Talk Power of Vulnerability. It's absolutely amazing and very inspiring. And but as a result of that, I felt like it almost kind of like gave me permission to be more real with people and to be more open with people. And one of the things that we can do as content creators to create that connection with people is to share our stories, right? And I want to kind of say to every one of you, like, everyone has a story, right? Every single one of you has stories to share and stories to tell, right? And those are so powerful, right? Those are the things that people will remember you for. You can throw a bunch of tips and advice at people, but sometimes it's the things that touch people's hearts. And sometimes when you share something with somebody, those are the things that are going to resonate with people. So I created a really a cool graph to talk about storytelling and how you can harness every aspect of your life to pull out stories to help you share and tie them to your career and your professional life, right? And when I talk about vulnerability, I'm not talking about like go out there and like cry on, on a video and, and overshare, right? All I'm saying is to kind of tell your story, right? Let people get to know you. And one of the best ways to do that, I think, and I hope this graphic will help you with it, is to think of your life, right, in different phases and different ups and downs and hills and valleys, right? You can pull from stories of your childhood, right? What were things that you learned in your childhood? Right? For me, it was growing up as an immigrant, a Chinese immigrant in Canada, having to learn English. And, I was so quiet. I was so shy and scared to speak up. Right. And here I am speaking for a living. Right. But those are the things that, your childhood stories, right? Think about how your childhood stories can be used in today and in your sharing, right? Also, school, what program did you go into in school or in high school or college or university, right? What kind of growth did you experience in school, right? Also, like, what kind of challenges did you have in your early career, right? Share those stories, right? When you were right out of school, what challenges did you have? Did you struggle to find a job? Did you land a job quickly and then realize it wasn't lined up with your passion, right? All those are great stories to share as well for content. Um, Family, I don't always talk about my family. I try to keep that kind of private. But if that floats your boat, you can speak about that. Rewards that you have along your career, lessons, right? Midway through your career, what lessons did you learn? What mistakes did you make? And as a result, you grew from it and learned from it, right? All those make for great short videos of the stories to tell of your career. Okay. And then finally, like if you're later on in your career, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Right? What passions do you have? What things do you want to convey? Right? These are all examples of stories that you can pull from your childhood through your early school days to early career to midlife to the legacy that you want to leave. And all that makes for great content. Okay. So I hope all that help you in kind of storytelling for all the geeks out there. For me, especially, I love seeing things in graphs. So I hope that helped you all out there. Let me know if there's any questions you have. G, great point, right? Your evolution from that space. Oh, thank you, has been incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Definitely check out Brene Brown. She has amazing, amazing insights into vulnerability. This is not showing up as a person, but I know it's Jennifer Beets coming to you from Canada. For those of you, she is a life coach especially for women that want to shatter their limiting beliefs. You definitely have to connect with her and follow her on LinkedIn. Jennifer Beets, research-based advice on vulnerability in self and relationship. Yes, yes, Jennifer. I love me some Brene Brown myself. Absolutely, absolutely. And G has a great point, right? Creating from the heart can be the hardest at times, but it's all about connecting with our audience, right? And I think the audience will give us grace. Okay, when you're open, people will be open with you too. And I think that makes for the most beautiful connections and relationships. Okay. Awesome. Yes, David, all about the stories. Okay. I want to get to the next section. And this is where I'm going to bring in the lovely G, because she does this so well. And it's all around cultivating relationships on LinkedIn. Right? At the end of the day, we can post and we can have all this content out there. But if we're not engaging with people, if we're not building our network and cultivating relationships, it's a moot point, right? So G, I'm going to bring her on to have her share about the importance of cultivating relationships on LinkedIn. Welcome back, G. You do this so well. You build networks, you build relationships, you're full of energy and positivity. So I can't imagine a better person to give these 3 tips.
Well, thank you, first of all, for that intro, especially coming from you, of all people, Fanny. And again, you're somewhat of a mentor and a guide for so many of us, myself included, and blessed to be here. I will share my perspective, and I'm only going to share the basics. So there's so much that goes into relationship cultivation on this platform. Too much to get into in an abbreviated couple of minutes. But, there are some things that I feel sometimes people in the rushing around of the day to day might tend to forget. So bear with me on this. And please feel free to drop in comments. And Fanny, please feel free to drop in with me in discussion. But, the first thing I really want to emphasize, and this is a biggie, this is not an overnight process. So I think Fanny, you can correct me on the numbers, or someone else in the audience can correct me on the numbers, but I think we're now at over 800 million LinkedIn users. I think people jump onto the platform expecting that it's going to be, hey, just reach out, send a bunch of generic invites, connect with a bunch of people, and that's your community. It does not work that way. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But there is a very distinction between someone having, say, 5,000 connections and followers, versus, say, 50,000 connections and followers. If you look at my minimal engagement, and let's use me as a guinea pig because I've been on this platform for 14 years, I have a minimal engagement of maybe 3,200 or so. I don't even know at this point what the number is, engagement, but I have a lot of friends, a lot of valuable connections. I've received a lot of valuable opportunities, but I cultivate this and have done so over time. So there's a difference versus going out and just rushing to say, I need to connect with a bunch of people for the sake of doing it. So that leads into my number 2, which is starting the actual relationship. Engage with people, really find a way to as you're, grooming yourselves, especially for the newbies, find a way to really embrace what other people are sharing and find value in it versus just being out there for 2 minutes to say, I'll give a few likes, then go away. Because that's not cultivating. That's just dumping likes. It's like when you're, for example, I'll give you a great example because this is actually something I'm working on professionally right now with some clients. But one thing that you don't want to do, especially as an employee, ever be told, go out and like a bunch of things from people at our company for the sake of doing it. That's not cultivating relationships. That's not engaging. And which leads into my number 3 point, if you will, about if you're not ready to actually create content. And Fanny gave 10 amazing tips earlier. And a lot of that I've actually used in my experience going through this journey with her over the past couple of years. But if you're not ready, just engage, truly engage. That is how you build relationships. Become known. Send personalized invites versus generic. Give people a purpose and intention for wanting to engage with you. And, the rest is, it's organic, it's magic from there. It's not an overnight Disneyland fast pass, as my mentor, hopefully Jillian Whitney's hearing this at some point, but Jillian Whitney gave me that term at one point. It's not a Disneyland fast pass, and you'll get the greatest magic as a result of the non-Disneyland pass. Anyway, so
I love it. Beautiful. I love how you tied in Disney and magic and fast pass.
Thank you, Disney. Thank you, Disney, and thank you, Jillian Whitney. and Jillian's a fan of yours. And honestly, again, I appreciate your having me here, Fanny. But I have used you as a guide for my own video journey and my transition over the past couple of years because it took me a while to get started. But it wasn't overnight. It was gradual, and that's the key. It's
And that's what makes
consistency,
it deep.
vulnerability, as you just discussed, and it's sharing your story.
Absolutely. So there you go, folks. G's 3 tips. It's not an overnight process. Number 2, make sure you engage with people. And number 3, comment and personalize invites. Thank you, G. That's amazing. All those super, super important. Oh, any last questions you have that G or I can answer for you? And let us see how we can help you. Let us know any questions you have about content creation, about LinkedIn, about growing your network. Let us know. Let's see what Jason said here. Jason said, read through activities, find interests and motivations, then give them more. Oh, yes. To add on to G's points about building relationship, definitely. Find that common interest. Wouldn't you say, G?
Absolutely. Commonalities are important. For instance, I connected with someone, and quick example, if I may. Someone
Please.
reached out to me because I had a few common connections, and I'm getting better at not declining every generic invite because I've gone through this over the years. I've been on LinkedIn for now, going on 15 years. So it's been a while. And as you can tell, the numbers don't necessarily read that versus someone who's been on for 2 years and has 30,000 connections. That's not me. It never was. I've been intentional from the get. Someone the other day reached out to me and sent me an invite, a financial person, which I don't have a financial background. I'm not looking for a tax person. But someone reached out with a few common connections. And I thought, okay, you know what? Generic invite. I'll respond. I'm trying it different ways now to accept invites and be a little more receptive. Then I accepted and said, thanks so much for the connection. Looking forward to seeing more of your content, whatever I said. And immediately I got a sales pitch immediately after that. And I thought, why would, hey, do you want to jump on a 20-minute call? And to me, that's not the way to do it. You build the relationship and then graduate to, hey, G, I really think you have some areas where I might be of interest, assistance to you. Would you be willing to jump on a call? And that's the point when I'd say, oh my gosh, I'd love to, but I don't have the time, versus My response to this person was, no, thank you. Not now. But I appreciate your asking and happy holidays. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Because I mean, again, I was gracious enough to respond when I didn't necessarily need to, and immediately hit with a sales pitch. So that's a
Yeah.
no-no. And again, it's just about relationship cultivation, creating content when you can, but if you're not able to, just engage. This network of, again, Fanny, please remind me of the number. Am I right? 800 million or so?
Yeah, 755, but yeah.
I feel
very
like the number,
close.
just like people give out different numbers, maybe arbitrarily, but and
It's
of
probably
that,
up to 800 now.
I know, right? And so little of that population create content. That's okay, but at least engage weekly, because this is not just, as you said earlier, it's not just a job search platform. It's really a community. And that's how I've been able to survive the past few years, especially. So, and Fanny, thank you so much for having me here, engaging me and allowing me to be a part of yours.
For sure, for sure. And as we close out the show, I want to thank everyone that tuned in today as we launched season 3 with the amazing G as community manager. And I'm just so excited to be back. What about you, G?
I cannot wait for the new year and all of the amazing things. I'm so psyched that you're here, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. So yes, it's going to be a great time. So encouraging the audience to please continue to tune in over the next few weeks. It's going to be magic, truly.
Absolutely. And for those of you out there, a little reminder to continue to shine your light, share your messages, share your gifts with the world through video. Bye, everyone.